Last time doing the poo.
We are not in Southeast Iowa.
Hang on. I don't know what she's gonna do. Lost steam.
Taking this and making this.
I think we're gonna be pooping here right now. Usually quickly and very aggressively.
This actually works. Hey everybody, as you can tell, we are not in Southeast Iowa. We are actually at T&T Dairy in Boise, Idaho. We're at an open house. If this looks a little rough, it's because we traveled light out here. We did not bring the GoPro, so we're shooting this on iPhone, so bear with us. We're gonna show you the process that is gonna run at our house, and some of it is gonna look very familiar because the same trailer that was at our house is out here. It made the trip all the way from Iowa out here, but we also have a Senshi system, which is the dryer. We have Jake McNair, he can speak a lot more eloquently about how this all works than I ever have. So we're gonna kind of have him walk you through how this system works and what we get out of it. You should get some good value from it, so come on.
Okay, I'm Jake McNair. We're here at T&T Cattle to kind of walk you through our system. We want to thank Greg Truce for having us here. So Greg is running a flush dairy. He's bedding on sand. He has a pretty robust solids recovery system already in place. What he does is he flushes his dairy. There's some lanes on the other side of this pile of manure that you can't see where he's settling sand. After that sand settling, he runs over some slope screen separators to recover his large fiber and larger manure solids. After the slope screen, it goes into the settling lanes that you can see here. Those overflow into this pit, what he recycles his flush from. We are taking this manure right here and processing it through our system. Okay, so we're pumping out of Greg's flush pit right here. That pit is fed into this system. This system is a cross-flow ceramic membrane system. It has a 60 nanometer pore size. So the feed into the system is this. Right now we're processing stuff that ranges from anywhere from 3% solids to about 2% solids. This system is a cross-flow, so it's not typical dead-end filtration. It runs at a high velocity on a cross-flow through the system. At a 2% solids, we get about a 90% recovery rate. That means about 90% by volume comes out as a clean, solids-free tea water. The rest of the volume comes out as the concentrated solids, which will look very similar to this. The benefit of the ultrafiltration system and the reason it's so important is it's so good at removing suspended solids and dry matter that it opens up typical downstream water treatment technologies. So after this cross flow and we've removed all the solids and we've come up with this tea water, we then run through RO. We have kind of a specialized RO that I won't get into today, but the RO produces a clean water. We're typically running around 200 to 300 ppm TDS, which is the salt. And then the salt we capture and we concentrate into a high grade liquid fertilizer that's high in ammonium and potassium.
How clean is that water?
This water is basically potable water. It's about 200 to 300 ppm TDS, which is the salt, which is really close to what your tap water would be at your house. The solids that we recover off the crossflow are combined with some of the upfront solids recovery processes that we have, and we run them through a dehumidification process. We dry these down to about a 90% solids content, and in doing so, as the water mass is removed, we concentrate the nutrients. So this particular product is very compost-like, but what it has is a much higher nutrient content than compost, especially in regards to nitrogen. We typically see about a concentration of about a little over 150, a little over 140%. No pathogens, great fertilizer. We can do it with or without the bedding, so you can be more pelletized if you don't include the straw. Cold process, good fertilizer.
The hog manure would look different. So that's just the dairy stuff, but hog manure,
Yeah, hog manure has a lot less fiber in it, so you're gonna get a much more pellet type product. It's gonna be more compact, harder, without all that fiber in it.
So, I mean, we've been on this journey for, what, 3 years now, and sometimes if you would know how hard something was gonna be, maybe you wouldn't start, but that's the beauty of, I think, all good things. You just have to start. And probably the next time that you see anything about this will be when that dryer system that Jake talked about shows up at our site. We'll document that whole process of the build out and getting ready to have a fully functioning system like this built, purpose-built on the site. Taking this and making this every hour of every day. That's our goal. I think that we are on the cusp of kind of a revolution when it comes to the value of the manure that's been underneath our slats all these years. And it's been a long day. It's been, you know, it's a lot to pick up and travel, and we all got stuff going on. This was really important today, and I think to the people that came here, they saw what is possible, and that's the most important thing. We love you all, and we appreciate you following us through this journey. There's more great stuff coming, so tune into the next one.
Yeah, and I would also say that, like, the coolest thing about this whole thing, and the biggest reason why we're out here, is people have tried doing what we have here today. There's a lot of people that claim they can do this, they've been working on trying to do it, but they actually don't have the technology that works, that makes it happen. This actually works. Like that, those 3 jars you saw, that was produced, and all that stuff was done here today. Fresh water, the clean water, the sludge, the dry, the brine that you see, all was made here today on this demo that we did. And a bunch of people from all across the country came out to see it, because with regulation, the government cracking down on manure and farmers and everything in between, we need something like this in agriculture. And we're just gonna need it more and more as time goes on. So we are blessed to be a part of it, and we can't wait to implement it on our farm and show you guys the entire process, and it's going to be here before you know it. Hopefully in 30 to 60 days we get some more equipment show up at our farm and we can make this thing happen. So appreciate it.
Well, hello there, YouTubers. Last Dance with Mary Jane here. Last time doing the poo. The black and sticky goo makes the girlies go, ew. We've struggled a little bit getting her going. Was planning on being done yesterday. We are on our last set here right now. Hopefully, cross fingers, pray to the Lord, we'll get this thing done here within a couple hours. Yeah, we'll ride along, I'll talk to you, we'll hang out, we'll do things. I am set up here. So that side of the field I just got done doing. This side I need to do now. The bar is back there waiting for the poo. My pumps are all controlled by the Bazooka FarmStar Nexus system, and I just turned them on. So I hit the run button right there, and we're running 1500 RPM pressure. I think that gauge is reading off. That should be reading positive pressure, but it's negative right now. But this shows me oil pressure, coolant temperature, battery voltage, fuel level if I was real fancy, fuel rate, load percentage. It's coming up to speed, and it'll be pushing the manure down through the down, because I'm at the bottom of the hill and the barn is at the top. But it'll be pushing it down the hill through the tube, and it'll eventually come pooping out the back. But yeah, the barn is up there. You can see it right on top of the hill. We're coming right out of that. Typically, in a lot of situations, I will run 2 pumps, but this time we're close enough that I don't need 2. I'm just running the 1. Yeah, my hose just did a little jumpy action on me. It must be all twisted up. When you pull these hoses, you try to pull them so that they pull straight behind you. But on this field, it's not very square, so it was pulling the hose sideways quite a bit. So I'm gonna have some kinks and some twists in it. And the poo is trying to push its way through there right now. So I'd probably better watch my pressures and make sure we don't blow up or something. Oh, there it goes. Oh, geez. Yeah, look at this. Hang on. I don't know what she's gonna do. Lost steam. How fun was that? I'm gonna go straighten it out a little bit. Well, that was a trip. You see all kinds of fun stuff. I think we're gonna be pooping here right now. Yep, there it is. It's coming out the back. Hang on, here we go. So this machine this year, tractor's the same, bar's the same, coulter's on the bar the same. There's a
hole in this hose right here. It seemed to have plugged itself.
10-4. You did not hear that. but I reworked the bar. I put a different distributor on it. Get a lot of debris in some pits sometimes. The distributors we had on it last year, they dead ended. When it would get full of debris and bones and stuff, it would plug up and plug up some of my row units. I'd have to get in there and dig all that stuff out. I put a different distributor on this year where the poo can flow through the bottom. If I start losing flow, or I think a nozzle's getting plugged, I can open the back of that distributor and blow all the debris out. Pretty slick, been working really good. I'm really enjoying it this year. So yeah, the first day we struggled getting off the ground a little bit. At about 5 acres, 20,000 gallons. My helper, got a new guy helping me, great guy. He calls me on the radio and says, hey, there's poop spraying on your air compressor up here coming out of the main pump. So took that home and re-welded it that night. Did some pipe coping, which is pretty fun if you're good at it. We'll just say it's a challenge for me when I do it. But welded that back together, re-solidified the pig out port up to the pump. Hopefully it'll stay on a little better. Today things have been going, I'll just say okay. I don't want to say good yet, but things are going okay today. Like I said, we're getting close to the end here for the Whistler boys. Anyway, this is my first job, so that's kind of part of it. First job for the year. Got to work the problems out. Then eventually you kind of hit a point where you do just okay right there in the middle somewhere. So yeah, my new guy Luke, man, he's come on real quick. He farms, so he knows what's going on. Yeah, he's been great help this year. I'm on a field here. Ideally, when you do drag line, if you're going at an angle, the piece that you're working to be a perfect square. Their fields aren't quite square like the ones I'm used to. My hose hustler, some call them hose humpers, but he is trying to drag that green hose, the drag line. He's trying to drag it farther to that end of the field. It's all got to go that way. If we don't, it rolls a lot. It pulls it sideways, it rolls it, and then it twists it. Hard on the hose. My pressure is doing pretty good. It shouldn't collapse on us, but when it does that, like you saw there, when we were filling up and it blew all that loop out, that's what it does. It just gets twisted and it won't untwist until you actually physically untwist it. Again, that's what my hose hustler is trying to do, is trying to keep that hose as close to straight behind me as possible. Yeah, there he's got a good loop. He's moving her good now. Yeah, Luke, that's excellent. So, methods of spreading manure. Why do drag line? Why do tanks? With tanks, placement is a little more precise. You don't have to, like, once you get started, you can stop, kind of do other things while you're going along. The equipment is cheaper, not much cheaper, but it is a little bit cheaper. You're dealing with fewer components, parts and pieces. Negatives to tanking, a little more compaction. Like I said, if you want to get done in a hurry, you're going to need a lot of tanks, a lot of tractors, more people with drag line. So the only thing out here in the field, other than my hose hustler and my hose cart, is this tractor and that bar. So I'm covering 40 feet per pass right now. Tanks, I think they make some real big tanks that will do like a 12 row. Most of the tanks around here are 8 row, 9,000 plus gallons per tank. But you're making more passes on the field with all that weight.
23 inches.
10-4. We got about 11 inches of poo to go. With drag line, there's a lot more setup and a lot more equipment to drag around. So I've got 2 stir pumps. I really should have more. Really, anybody should have more than 2 stir pumps in the pit, stirring the manure at all times, getting it mixed up. This harvest lab really showed us the data of the manure and how it changes as it goes down through the pit. So that kind of changed everybody's perspective on what they're getting when they're pumping. As you go down through the layers of that pit, the nutrient values change quite a bit. You know, when I started doing this in 2012, we just went off rate. Rate was rate, and we went out there and we figured we'd get a little bottle of poo about yay big, send it to a lab, and they'd come back and they'd tell us how much NP and K was in that manure. And we assumed that that was getting spread at an even rate across the whole field. That's not the case. That's why we found that the more you can stir that pit, ideally you could shake the whole thing and get it all homogeneously shaken up so it all comes out exactly the same. But anyway, we found out that the more you can stir, the better. So that's why 2 to 4, 6, depending on how big the barn is, stir pumps really help to get that stuff stirred up.
step again. And it's just so damn cold out here. I can see my failing breath. I'm a little nervous and I'm coming down. Every new heartbreak hurts a little more. Every new heartbreak hurts so much more than the last time around.
So when we're done, the pig shoots out, we leave air in the line, and then I drive around and straighten that line back out, so that way it goes nice and straight onto my hose reel. Yeah, the 2 times that a hose will kink or twist on you is when it's empty and flat. So whenever you roll it back up onto a hose reel, you want it to be as straight as you can, unless you've got somebody there with a hose hustler making you a corner. But yeah, the other time, like I said, is when it's full of manure, you don't have good pressure and you're dragging it sideways, it'll roll on you. But that's what I'm doing right now. So blue hose is the feeder coming from the barn up there where the tractors are, and it's coming over this way, and you can see how it's all looped out right there. So what I want to do, I want to take those loops out, and I want to go to that end of the field with it to get that line straight. Let's go unhook the umbilical. I'll show you how this all works. That there's the coulter, cuts a slit in the ground. Right there is where the manure comes out. These are the closing wheels right there. They put a little bit of dirt on top of the manure to cover it up and try to save some of that nitrogen. Nitrogen likes to volatilize, go up into the air. I know, that's why I run closing wheels on mine. So this guy right here is the distributor that I just put on. So the manure comes in the stinger there. As long through there, this is the rate meter. So that thing there tells us what our flow is, gallons per minute. Down through that T, and then on mine it goes up around the front, comes through here, comes up. There's a hydraulic motor on top. What that does is that spins, tries to evenly distribute the manure through each one of these tubes. And then like I said, when I go to run the pig, I open this port right here, and it comes out right there, usually quickly and very aggressively. Oh, I missed it. Son of a bitch. Just like that, how we fold her up, go park it for the weekend. All right, this will do, Army. Another year, another couple gallons of poo, but we're done here at This'll Do Farm. They were my first job. I got lots to do from here. Have a great winter. We'll see you next spring, come planting time. Take care.